So if you're anything like me and you absolutely love Christmas, but you're just not really in the mood to be spending all kinds of money, it's 2020, we're all poor, it's been a rough year, and I love a good DIY project. I love whenever I can find something that I've seen online and trying to recreate it myself, or sometimes just coming up with my own little fun projects spontaneously. It's a grey and rainy Sunday here in Melbourne. I've got bare face in my comfies, and I thought, what better way to get into the festive spirit, but also keep this bunny appropriate, than to make a bunny advent calendar. So throughout December, I'm going to be doing some DIY projects that'll help you get into the Christmas spirit in terms of our bunnies and helping them celebrate in their own funny little way. So if you're interested in finding some fun ways of creating decorations and trinkets for your bunny for the Christmas season, then make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I'll be making these videos throughout the month of December and hopefully you guys love them. So for this project, you will need some white and red felt, a ribbon of your choice, some pom-poms, and some fabric paint. And then just to help you out, you'll need some fabric scissors or just some very sharp scissors, something that you can mark the fabric with. I've used a water erasable marker, some measuring tape, and a paintbrush. I told one small lie when I was mentioning what you'll be needing for this project, because this next one is completely up to you. So if you have a sewing machine and you're really happy to use a sewing machine, by all means, get some white thread and you can sew on the little pockets with a sewing machine. If you either don't have a sewing machine and you're not comfortable hand sewing, there is also always the trusty glue gun option. So just make sure whichever option you're using, you're doing so safely. And if you're a child, make sure you've got parental supervision. But once you've decided which way you're gonna go, then make sure you've got that handy and let's get to it. Your water erasable marker or piece of chalk, and you're going to draw out a stencil for the shapes on our calendar. So this is what it's going to end up looking like, so just keep sketching them out until you're happy with it. So once you're happy with the shapes that you've stenciled out, you're going to cut out 12 of each of the shapes, ending up with a total of 24 pockets. Next, you're going to take the white shapes that you've cut out and spread them out onto the red felt, just to give you a sense of just how much red felt you're going to need for the framing. Once you're happy with the way that it's looking, I just measured out the right-hand side to see how much margin I had on the right, marked that out on the left-hand side, measured out the width of it so that I could then measure it out at the top and make a nice perfect rectangle. You're now ready to cut out your frame. You'll notice that I left a pretty big section at the top, which is because I spontaneously decided to add a title section. So you'll also be cutting out a white rectangle to the size of your choice if you want to go down that avenue. Otherwise, just cutting it to the size of your bunnies is just fine. So now it's time to paint. So if you don't have any fabric paint, you can actually make your own. They sell it at most craft stores. You can just get any color acrylic paint that you like, and what's called a textile medium paint medium. So essentially you can make your own fabric paint by combining these two, and you're ready to go. So with your fabric paint, you're now going to paint on all of the numbers from 1 till 24 onto your little bunny stencils. You're also going to write on whatever festive message you'd like to put onto your banner at the top. Next, of course, you have to cut out the piece of ribbon to the length that you'd like it. This is completely up to you depending on where you want to put it in your home. Now, before you go any further with the project, it's important that you show the recipient of the advent calendar your progress so far and that you get his approval. Now the advent calendar is starting to come together, and so now it's time to assemble. So if you're using a sewing machine, definitely you can do so. Otherwise, I actually opted in the end to go with a glue gun. So I'm going to start marking out where I want my pieces and gluing them to the red felt. Finally, we come to the fun part. You get to put your pom-poms onto the little bunny butts, and your advent calendar is pretty much complete. Alright, so we've made an advent calendar for our bunnies. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I can't wait to use it in December. One quick disclaimer, I did end up actually making a little switch after hanging it up, just from one big loop at the top to two little loops, just because otherwise it was really sad and floppy. So just bear that in mind. If you're having a similar issue, you can always just make two little loops and hang them up that way. So if you end up making your own advent calendar for your bunnies, make sure that you send them to us on Instagram. I would love to see what you come up with, what fabrics you use, and I would love to see some videos throughout December of your bunnies using them. So make sure to connect with us on Instagram. It's all linked down below. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you want to see some more Christmas DIYs for our bunnies. Happy holidays, guys, and have the loveliest day.